Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Catastrophe Section, a podcast about bad movies. Namely, ones that are so fucking terrible. Either A, you get angry, B, you get confused, or C, all of the fucking above. I'm joined by my brother Cameron. I'm Aaron.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
No, you're not, liar. So today we're covering the
2001 hit starring Tom Green, because someone wanted to give him money, Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah.
And you might think that sounds like a porno. I kind of wish it was, because it would probably be a lot better than it actually is.
And there are some real porno elements. I mean,
Let's not jump ahead of ourselves.
All
First,
right.
let's get a little bit of info back.
Jesus Christ. Why did we do this? All right.
So this is going to be our episode 0. So basically how we structure the show. First, we should start off of why we feel like we need to express ourselves on this in the internet. And I feel like we need to go back to the olden days of 2008 or 2009, I think it was, when we went to the Dollar Theater to see a movie starring Nicolas Cage called Knowing.
It was a great day.
It was a great day, mostly because we only had to spend $1.50 to see it.
We sat in the very back row. There was two other people, two fucking old people who were just like, oh boy, Nicolas Cage was in some movie I knew. He found that national treasure there.
That National Treasure 3 in space.
Oh God, I wish.
The founding fathers hid parts.
The founding fathers founded the dark side of the moon and they're coming back to Earth.
And then every 75 years, Halley's Comet has a piece of Mount Rushmore that we need to decrypt who will be the next president in the
Haley
future.
Berry's comet is coming.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Great.
Anyway, so we went and saw that, and so we perpetually got into the habit of watching bad movies. So much of the point that, well, it became the gag gift for family get-togethers, such as birthdays and Christmases.
1 year, I got him the treasure that is Chairman of the Board, starring Carrot Top. I won that year, by the way. He just got me a shitty Larry the Cable Guy movie. I think I beat him.
I think I came a close second, though, because it was Witless
There was
Protection.
only 2 spots.
You have to admire the marketing department for having such a spot-on title for their, Larry the Cable Guy vehicle.
Well, he talks just really stupid, so, witless protection, get it? It's a play on words. Yes, we fucking get it. Thanks, marketing. You're terrible.
I'm Larry the Cable Guy.
God, Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, we're not doing those. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that because it will happen eventually.
It will probably pop up. So basically how we want to put out the show is that we want to do it on a bi-weekly basis. So we're dropping the first 2 episodes rather close together just to get a feel for how it goes. So each week we'll discuss a new movie. We'll go into it. We'll basically rip the shit out of it, based on whether we liked it or not. Sometimes we'll have a third person. Most of the times not, because we're poor.
Well, we're not paying them to come on the show.
No, I mean, we can't. I'm just throwing out that we're poor so that people feel bad for us.
Yeah, please pity, throw money our way through some fucking, I don't know, find us, throw money, anthrax laced $100 bills, just throw them in our mailbox, please.
Oh, I've gotten those before. They're rather tasty.
Yes.
Rather tasty.
Delicious.
Although you might beg the question why I ate anthrax in a $100 bill form, but I am not at liberty to discuss that as I plead the fifth.
That's not how that works. But anyway,
yeah, that is how it
Freddy
works.
Got Fingered.
Yes.
Let's continue.
Let's continue. So, flashback to 2001, and you have Tom Green getting enough creative freedom and being kind of at the height, if you want to call it that.
Mainly because of his Tom Green show, which I never watched. And
he had his own TV show. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So basically, some studio decided to throw $15 million his way and give him full creative freedom over it. He wrote, directed, and starred in the vehicle. And the title basically comes from the premise that he is a 40-something guy who wants to be like an animator artist, and he still lives with his parents, and so because he's pissed off at his dad for unjustly wanting to have him move out of the house at the age of 40,
totally
fucking unreasonable. Can you believe
asshole.
it?
God damn.
He decides to blame his father, played by Dodgeball and Men in Black's Rip Torn.
Oh boy.
Ooh, you get to see his bare ass.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll
Jesus
get to that.
Christ, that
Anyway.
is a scene and a half. Holy shit.
I'd say
Oh,
2 scenes and
boy.
a half of an ass.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, so basically he decides to accuse his father of being a child molester of his 17-year-old brother Freddy.
Oh boy.
And it's like, I don't know.
Great start.
I bet that they probably wish that they could abort Tom Green if he was their dad, if he was their kid at some point.
It's
Okay, so let's go to the
God.
beginning of the plot and discuss just how that works out.
So the first maybe 5 minutes of movie is basically Tom Green setting up to, hey Dad, I got a job at a cheese sandwich factory. Which, first off, what the fuck is a cheese sandwich factory? We see it later in the movie, and it's basically, there is a slice of bread, put a slice of shitty American cheese onto bread, put other slice of bread, and then it moves along the conveyor belt. That's it.
That's like one of the jobs that one of our like someone in like the early 20th century had before there were labor laws. When you got sick or got the rickets, you would like be fired because you missed one day.
I would love to hear, like, son, I lost my middle finger by the cheese rotating machine. I accidentally slipped, and it's just, oh god, there's got to be some sort of horrible mutilation story behind that factory. But anyway,
Probably. but the real baffling thing isn't so much the concept of it, because this film so the world of the film is the really crazy part of this movie, because they live in Washington State. Could he not find a decent cheese factory sandwich job, like cheese sandwich making factory job in Washington? Why does he have to go to LA besides to find some sort of connection later on to serve the plot of... It's basically a utility to be like, oh, well, he really just wants to do animation, so there's animators in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah. So
That's a
basically,
thing.
so he gets this job from his dad, and
And they buy him a car, too.
I was just about, yeah. So he's getting on the bus, and Rip Torn, and who plays the mother? I have no.
Oh, I don't know. I can look that up right now. Marissa Colin?
So his mom and his dad buy him a car. They're at the bus station. He's like, all right, I'm getting on the bus. They're just like, hey, here's this brand new car. He jumps in it, and then immediately his brother's just like, what the fuck does he get a car? And then some bullshit fucking thing, like the normal family drama where the son hates the other son, and the parents are just like, you stop it,
Because
too.
I gotta say, Freddy's not exactly special in any sort of way. He's just not Tom Green, which makes him infinitely better by comparison.
So, yeah, I would, yeah.
It's like if one son is Stalin and one is like Chopin or Ray Charles, or just like a working class stiff like, I don't know, me or something. Like I'm not that great of a person, but compared to that asshole I'm pretty great.
So after he gets the car, we immediately get to the first scene of bestiality, and it's in the first 10 minutes.
I'd say 15, somewhere
15
around there,
minutes.
because it takes him a good 20 minutes to get out
So
of.
there's a very short montage of Tom Green being like, yeah, I'm out of the house, I'm driving, and that's like the opening credits. And then as soon as that stops, he pulls to the side of the road because he sees these farmers. They're about to artificially inseminate or get fucking.
I thought they
breeding
were going to
horses.
geld the horse. Or...
Yeah, they're gonna have they're jerking off this horse, so to get it hard for
the
this
mare.
other horse,
For the mare.
so they can have more horses. They're fucking
They're breeding.
They're doing horse breeding. So he pulls to the side of the road, gets super excited, jumps the fuck out of his car, and starts jerking off the horse. This is a great start. 15 minutes in, fucking jerking off a horse.
I know, like, and the farmers don't seem to be like totally like they're like get away from that horse. They're not like,
They
why
don't
the
stop
fuck is
him.
this guy?
There's some dude jumping out of his car just saying, hey, let me jerk off this horse. And the farmers are, oh, yeah, fine, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
here.
that's cool. You're
Have
helping
this
us out.
lube.
Thanks.
Have this lube here.
I've got
So
this
he's jerking
KY
off-
that I keep in my pocket.
Yeah, so he's jerking off this horse. He's just like, I'm a farmer, Bobby. Actual line.
I wish it wasn't.
Yeah, I wish this movie didn't exist. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, it is infuriating.
I sort of love it because you hate it so much.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
Okay, so then he gets to LA and he has a bunch of like drawings from the beginning of the movie that we didn't mention of this sort of like, what is it, zebras or giraffes? It's zebras.
It's zebras,
It's
yeah.
zebras. And it's like this really weird, like, I don't know. I want to say like Kafka-esque sort of like drawings of zebras as like a family, and they have to like deal with all these social allegories as if they're like a minority, because obviously they're zebras, and they would if they were, you know, personified as such. And so basically,
like a lot of racist jokes, but insert zebras instead of black people.
I know, it's such a progressive thing. Nobody has ever done anything like that in a film before. Am I right?
Ah, Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't think he made the movie.
Nah, shut up.
Anyway, so back to that. So he finds this animator, this like made animator, like an Adam Reed or like the guy who created some big Adult Swim show or something, like Aqua Teen, basically one of those guys. And he takes him his spec drawings, pretending to be like some weird fucking delivery boy. After one day at the cheese sandwich factory and hating it, which he can't even do that correctly. He starts dancing around. Didn't he put some cheese on his groin at some point?
Sure.
Or...
He gets pissed and then he jumps on the conveyor belt, something fucking like just ripping cheese out of places and rubbing it on his body. I don't fucking know.
He can't even do the depressingly proletariat job correctly.
And the fucking in the factory, it's him and then a bunch of old Mexican women, and that's it.
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of people. So do you feel like all those other people that work there came from a different state to work at this prestigious cheese sandwich factory?
Fuck no.
Because in the world of the movie, you can't get a job where you live, or maybe we're to believe that he got jobs at other places in Washington and didn't, you know, like no one will hire him basically. So he had to go to Los Angeles for that, or I don't know. That's just one of the questions that I got from the movie anyway.
Why is there only... There's a McDonald's right down the street and it probably pays better.
Probably. Even minimum wage. And even I don't care how much you're making. If you have to wear those ugly blue jumpsuits that he had to wear, that's just... Ugh.
Anyway,
that's just not worth the money. Anyway, jumping forward, he sneaks in as a delivery boy to talk to Mr. Animator, the big head honcho guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like your work there. You should do this, but where's the storyline? See me?"
It's like, these are pretty good drawings, but who are these people? It's just weird shit. And it's just like, well, it's Tom Green. What the fuck do you expect? But yes,
it's almost like he's commenting on himself, but he decides to go forward with it anyway.
Yeah.
So he quits the job at the cheese sandwich factory, goes back home, some shit about building a skateboard ramp or something, and he builds that, and his friend comes by and a bunch of other shit. His parents aren't so happy that he moved back, and so his dad is finally calling him out on how much of a failure he is after putting so much time and effort into it, which leads to the aforementioned Rip Torn's butthole scene. So basically they're in Tom Green's room, which is in the basement, mind you, and he's saying like, well, fuck you, Dad, and then he says, fuck me, and then he proceeds to take off his pants, and it should be noted that this is after he accuses Rip Torn of being a child molester, and so his mother, Rip Torn's wife in the movie, I don't remember the actress's name, has to look and see her husband's ass being thrown around at her 40-year-old son,
who's basically just yelling, "Go ahead and fuck me!" And it's just like, what? Oh, fucking hell. He like pulls off his suspenders all violently, and he's just like, "You're gonna fuck me, then fuck me."
I don't know about you, but I had a definite erection. Well, I definitely needed to see that.
Rip Torn's gross, ripply man ass and by ripple, I mean fucking cottage cheese ass.
I bet that it was Ripple Torn after he fucked him.
Great. Fuck you. God damn it.
What, puns aren't allowed?
Yeah, they are. That just not that one.
Anyway, so the wife confronts Rip Torn's character, says, "You are a child molester." Oh. And so they send Freddy, who is, I think when I said he was 17, he's really 18. They send him off to this sort of like Catholic church-esque sort of molesty survivor camp where all these other kids are like talking about it, which, you know, Rip Torn's character in actuality is not a child molester.
Yeah, it's just bullshit so he can have something fake against his father.
Exactly, because, you know, that's how you get back at him. I mean, if our father tried to do that, clearly I would have to accuse him of being a child molester. That's just the next...
Yeah. Obviously,
for not giving me a car or, you know, sending me through college. That, you know, that's just
fuck
next
that
logical
guy.
Yeah, right. And then hopefully we wouldn't have to experience the Rip Torn like scene after that.
Yeah, please no.
Okay.
Dad, if you're listening, do not expose your anus to me. I wouldn't enjoy it.
I wouldn't enjoy it either. I'm sure some people would in other countries, but anyway, going forward, so Freddy ends up in this weirdo survival camp, which leads us to another, you know, there's a bunch of intermittent Tom Green thinks that this is funny gags.
Which basically just like, I'm not this. I've got to get in touch with nature. So he goes to the side of the road and is just like, I'm going to put on this deer carcass and dick around for a while, for 5 minutes, doing Tom Greenisms and just, woo, I'm in a carcass, wee.
Not to mention that the truck driver that comes by at that exact point gives him exactly the what the fuck stare that I had on my face the entire time watching this movie.
God damn it.
Oh, fuck this movie.
Can I just take a moment to say I fucking hate this movie. I fucking hate it.
No amount of alcohol that you drink and like ingest and then watch this movie with will make it make any sense or make you like it in any way.
It was just...
And also, if you're a Tom Green fan, fuck you, turn off our podcast and go die.
That was just...
You're the exact kind of people that make these kind of shitty movies happen.
There's a romantic comedy storyline, which we're going to get to. Right now, he falls in love with this chick who's in a wheelchair.
So she's disabled, basically.
Yeah, she's a disabled woman. And she can't feel her legs is the thing. I don't know what they don't elaborate. It's just like, hey, look, wheelchair. We can make gags out of this. Whee!
I think she might have been born with it because she didn't say that it was like some sort of Peter Parker-ish accident or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I assume that she was probably born with it. But anyway, she takes a liking to him. Who knows why?
Yeah, why the fuck?
He is the
Who
most
likes that guy?
He's the most disgusting person and most baffling, you know, why is he famous person that I've ever come across.
If anybody ever needed to be medicated, it'd be him.
It'd be him. I feel like this is just a testament to his descent into insanity.
Oh my God. What is it? I kind of want to know what he's doing now.
Probably nothing.
He's a whore.
He could do the whole Vanilla Ice thing where he gets a Flip This House show on the E! Network.
Oh my God. Fucking Tom Green, flip this house. And there's just a bunch of there's blood in the corner for no reason. And there's
fake vomit. There's got to be fake vomit.
Oh, of course there does.
And a few fart jokes.
Probably real vomit.
And probably an animal that he needs to jerk off.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Totally. That's just his thing. Yeah. You know, obviously, if you're going to show someone a house, you got to show the jerking off of the animal.
Yes. So he falls in love with this chick in the wheelchair. And there's her only characteristic is that she likes him and that she likes to get beat in the legs with a cane, which she can't feel her legs. I don't know how that's
Yeah, they never establish that she can feel it in any sort of way. She's just sort of aroused by getting hit in a place that you can't feel.
It's like getting hit. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, not that I know a few disabled people, but I don't think that anybody actually is aroused by getting hit in a place that they can't use for mobility anymore.
Nobody with erectile dysfunction gets off on getting kicked in the dick.
And that's the thing is that he doesn't that's how she gets off even though she can't feel it. So and then she just offers him a Joe Blob right after
every
that.
Opportunity she's just like, all right, I'm gonna blow you now. It's just like, what?
And of course, he's not gonna say no.
Oh God.
So the depressing part of the movie comes anyway, backpedaling a little bit, she wants to build a rocket-powered wheelchair.
Yeah, she's like this. She's a rocket science, a real rocket scientist. Apparently,
yes, she is a rocket
I want to
scientist.
strap it to the back of my wheelchair because that'll be safe.
Although, you know, she could have just gotten one of those like rascal scooter things, or like maybe.
I mean, electric would probably make more.
But this was 2001, mind you, when this came out, so they might not have had.
So obviously, common sense didn't exist.
Oh yeah, common sense didn't exist back then.
Yeah, of course.
Back in the olden days of 2001,
we were all listening to alt rock, such as Britney Spears.
That's not alt rock.
Fuck you.
The Big River Band and Savage Garden.
90s.
And BB Mac.
Oh God.
And LFO. And Sugar Ray.
Oh boy, Sugar Ray.
Whatever. Anyway.
Early 2000s reference here.
Oh. Woo. Snow Patrol.
I'm trying to think of another one.
I was just naming off all the shit that I listened to when I was like that age.
Blind Guardian.
You listened to that when you were 11?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Anyway. So she teaches him to believe because he looks at her TV, and one day she doesn't like call him or some shit, and she succeeded in building the rocket-powered wheelchair, and he's just like, you know what? I should do that. So for some who knows why thing, he decides to go back to the drawing board. And we'll discuss more gags later in that, because there's a lot of really off-the-wall gags like we mentioned before. So he's
like two that are actually like, oh, that's kind of just ridiculous enough to be funny, and not, why are you masturbating of an animal?
Yes, like animal cruelty. Anyway, so
which there are two of.
So he decides to go back to Los Angeles, and he sells his zebra idea by basing it on his family and the turmoils that they have.
And the guy who buys it is just like, there's no fucking way you're the father that actually acts like this. Well, of course, later in the movie, his father comes in to beat the shit out of Tom Green, rightfully so, and it's just like blah, 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 his normal ripped Tony self, and then the guy's just like, oh yeah, I believe you now. That's totally an actual character.
And it's not even that. It's like they buy it outright and they give him $1 million check.
They don't, before anything has been finished, they don't assign him a studio.
Well, I mean, he is like,
hey, go do this in your basement.
He has the concept art for like a pilot, I would assume.
And then
they don't even make it. They just give this weird fuck $1 million check. Just like, here you go.
I like these drawings. Here is $1 million. You have created character ideas for this. Well done. Which, by the way, they show a bit of the quote-unquote show, and it's just like, look at my shoes, with the shitty animation of his legs flailing about. And that's about it.
And I know that there are a lot of actors and showrunners that get $1 million or more for like overall production deals, but he's unproven. He has no skills beyond like these few drawings. So why would they trust him? They would give him maybe 100,000 most, or a few 100,000 at most. They would not give him $1 million flat out.
No,
for someone who has no prior track record. And the studio is just buying the rights for it. And they're like, they'd order scripts from him. They would not give him $1 million outright.
Yeah, no fucking way.
Especially this guy. You like, if you saw how this weird fuck just there,
but
like,
Cameron, he's artsy.
Oh, okay. If that's what you want to call that.
Yeah, clearly.
I believe the term developmentally delayed is the actual.
He's just like Andy Warhol.
Except for he didn't get shot. I wish he would and then die. Andy Warhol actually lived, so there's that.
I don't know.
Oh, well, he got shot by one of the
old
women
people reference that I made.
What? People know about Andy Warhol.
Old people.
Okay, old people. Anyway.
Oldo.
Yes, I'm old.
Fucking old person.
Yep, I'm an old person.
Goddamn it.
Anyway, so moving on. He sells it and he moves to, is it India?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
He goes to India.
And bear this. This is 82 minutes into the movie. So all this random stuff in the gags has already happened. And his dad goes to confront him in India, where he has bought, what is it? Like some sort of like Taj Mahal like place. No, it's Pakistan. It's Pakistan where they end. in this. And so he's building like a palace or some shit, and his father comes and he starts to chase him for, obviously accusing him to be a child molester. And there's an elephant in a room.
Here comes yet more bestiality. Well, it's not bestiality. It's not technically fucking him. Here comes more animal cruelty.
So he runs into a tent, and there's this guy, who I presume Tom Green owns the elephant. And so, to get away from his father, he starts to jerk off the elephant and points the erect elephant penis at his father.
Like a fire hose.
And a fire hose of cum just shoots onto his dad and shoots him back, down the hill. And then Tom Green's like, oh my God, what have I done? And then,
I've killed my father with jism.
I didn't think that was possible. Anyway, so he runs down the hill. He's like, Dad, I love you after all. And he's like, I love you, son.
And then they make out.
No, that would probably
Covered
make
in
his
elephant jizz.
And so basically,
that would have made the movie worth it, just to see Tom Green and Rip Torn just start making out, covered in elephant jism.
Okay, so that's the basic plot of the movie. There's some stuff that we glossed over, like the part where I think is it the disabled lady who is giving birth, or someone's giving birth in the hospital, and then there's the newborn, and he swings it around his head and throws it out the window or something, because he's the only one in this whole hospital. Tom Green is the only one who is there to help deliver the baby, and by swinging it by the umbilical cord around the room, I think he's trying to break the cord, but there's no scissors, so quickly fling it around your head. Because if he called for a nurse or a doctor, they don't know what to do with a baby at all.
Oh, of course.
They didn't go to school or anything.
What is a baby?
He is the most qualified person with his weird zebra drawings.
What is this child?
What is this child here?
That is the worst.
That's not who you think it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's an impression for who you don't think it is. That's what it is.
So it's not who I think it is.
No, it's not who you think it is.
I think it clearly is.
No, you're right. It's David Beckham.
Oh, okay. David Beckham, Marriage Spice Girl.
Yep.
One? Sporty Spice?
No. It's not Sporty Spice. I think it's I don't know. It is. No. He didn't marry Sporty Spice. It's just a different Spice. Okay, I gotta pull up David Beckham now.
God damn it.
Well, it's your fault. You had to mention the Spice Girls.
Speaking of Spice Girls, Spice World.
Which I do not want to do.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I'll just not watch that.
So, other gags in the movie that, all fall flat. Every single one of them. Oh, the one that did work for me. He hooks up a bunch of sausage around his living room by strings, and when Rip Torn comes in, he's playing this piano, trying to find inspiration.
With the sausages are by the string is hooked to his fingers, so when he plays it, the sausages go up and down in the room like a cacophony of evil meat or some bullshit.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Genitals.
Oh, it's Posh Spice.
Oh, good.
Oh ho, internet proves you wrong once again, sir.
Yep, farting.
Anyway, so he's playing on the Casio, and he's just like, Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
It's just fucking dripping in front of him, just gross fucking meat.
And
rightfully so, Rip Torn basically just goes, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, we skipped over the part where he's in the suit, like Rip Torn's suit, and he's like going back and forth to the mirror trying to be like a businessman.
Oh my god. So he's putting on a suit to go out with his girlfriend, I think, but he's like, and he has it on backwards, and he's just singing the song where it's like backwards suit, some bullshit. The backwards suit. Man, I don't know.
And he's walking in reverse too, like towards the mirror, and then he turns around and he's like, backwards man.
It does.
Although, much better than I just did, probably.
Barely. But then Rip Torn comes in, he's just like, what are you doing with my suit? And he's just like, well, I'm going to get a job, Daddy.
No, he doesn't even try to explain. I think he runs out of the room or something, and that's when it goes into the fuck me thing. if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Anyway, going back to this, so we're going to move into our next section, which is the worst best. So we'll start with you, Aaron, going in alphabetical and stupid-betical order.
Yep, stupid.
What is the
Clearly.
best part of this movie for you, and what is the worst part of this movie for you? Most catastrophic.
Shit. Well, I think the best part of the movie is there are some times where I very much enjoy getting confused and angry and belligerent at a movie, and that's this entire movie.
This entire movie is like all vignettes of that.
I spent an hour and a half just yelling, "Fuck you!" and "What is happening?" at the screen. That's all I did for the whole time during this movie.
It was very enjoyable watching it that way.
Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. There is nothing in this movie that makes sense. There's nothing there.
I feel like this movie is like a distillation of ideas that he had. It's kind of like Flight of the Conchords. Before they got discovered and got the TV series, they had all these songs.
Yeah.
And then in the first season, they use all those songs. And then for season 2, they have to write brand new shit.
So it's basically he had a bunch of like bits and shit that he wanted to put on there, but hey, my show's
like, hey,
gone.
what if I jerk off a horse? What if I jerk off an elephant? What if I have Rip Torn's ass in my face?
So basically he just has a movie built around those shitty gags.
And then the studio's just like, put in a love story with someone and then rocket-powered wheelchair, the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, best worst.
So I think the best part of this movie, and this is a very low best. This is the lowest.
The lines are very blurred in this for this movie particularly.
I think it would be that sausage scene.
That's my best part too.
Because it's not explained. It's just like you're following Rip Torn the scene before, and then he just comes home. So it's like it switched to his perspective briefly, and you get to see it from his side. So he just comes home and walks in the room, and you just see this dumb fucking guy, just like sausage taped to his fingers, just going woo. And it with the mild perspective shift there, it's even more baffling and confusing, which is actually what Tom Green is doing, I think. Hey, like that's his comedy style, is to just confuse you until you laugh, but then again, just go watch fucking something else. Tim and Eric do that.
Do not watch this movie, no matter what you do, unless you want to kill yourself after you watch it.
This is a very good suicide note. If you kill yourself, please buy a used copy of Freddy Got Fingered DVD, or
leave it
VHS.
next to your corpse.
Put it on, like, clutch it like an old man with a Bible when you're dead.
Yes,
this is why I killed myself.
And then the ME will come in and he'll be like, another one.
Well, I guess he deserved it. Watch this.
This fictional medical examiner who is like a hard-boiled detective. Another one claimed by Tom Green.
Goes into a noir. I think some days I will never find love.
You know, Dame, you gotta tell me where the evidence is, otherwise I can't solve the crime.
No, never. I'll never tell.
But you gots to, or I'll hit you with my mitt.
Oh, okay.
Because, noir was filled with, old-timey sexism.
And mitts.
And mitts. No, mitts is just another way for fist. It's like...
No, I prefer him just puts on mittens and beats her.
Okay, so my best worst in this, my best, like I said, is the sausage part, because that is. But the worst part for me is also on the flip side of that, is how... and like Aaron said, the construction of the movie is fucking terrible through and through. Like, this is one of the most garbage pieces of shit movies that I've ever seen. But the most infuriating part is that Tom Green's character accuses his father of being a child molester, and everyone starts to believe him. Like, the community turns against him when he goes to the grocery store. Everyone turns against him. Everybody is on Tom Green's side.
Which if you knew anything about his character, you'd just be like, wait, why is anybody taking his fucking side?
And normally I like movies that subvert the whole you have to root for the good guy thing. But he's not a good guy. He's just a fucking asshole who gets his father, who let him live in his house through his 40s and his bizarre, shitty drawings of zebras, which apparently becomes a hit TV show. It becomes like The Simpsons or like the Tim and Eric show of whatever fucking network bought it. But that's the thing that gets me is that like the compass, like even the mother doesn't believe him, or she does see the ass room shake thing, and
which convinces her somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how that would. I don't see how that, like, seeing ass waving face equals child molesty even after hearing it. But
well, he was yelling "fuck me."
I think he was being hyperbolic, though, so in that way.
I think it was being hypertension.
Oh, hypertension. Very hypertension. Anyway, so let's move on to verdict. So, Aaron, would you recommend people see this movie?
I think you know the answer is holy fucking shit, no. Nope.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how severe do you back up your statement with?
I think if you own this movie, you need to hire a bunch of people or just a bunch of friends, buy black robes, and have a horrible cultish ritual of sacrificing this movie to get rid of it. We need to cleanse this earth, motherfucker. We need to cleanse this earth of this movie.
Do you know what the production budget of this movie could have gone towards? Feeding people.
Oh, that'd be great. 15 million. Hey, guess what? Let's feed these people. Nope. Tom Green.
Hey, yeah, Tom Green. Woohoo. But apparently there is some justice on this earth. Oh, go backpedaling. Yes, I do not recommend this movie at all. So now we're going to move on into another part, which is a little bit of trivia about it. So apparently there is justice in the world because the movie was nominated for quite a few Razzies. Let's see. It looks like it was nominated for Worst Screenplay, Worst Actor, Worst Director, Worst Screen Couple, Worst Picture, Worst Supporting Actor, Worst Supporting Actress, and Worst Picture of the Decade, of which it won the Screenplay, Actor, Director, Worst Screen Couple, and Worst Picture. So there is justice, I feel, that is served in this. And originally this movie was supposed to be NC-17. I don't know
what did they cut out.
Maybe more animals.
God, probably.
Maybe Rip Torn rips out his testicles and throws them at Tom Green at some point.
She's so pissed.
That would make sense.
I don't need my balls
in the world of this movie. So basically, the movie cost $14 million to make, and guess how much it made?
6 mil.
$14,333,000.
God damn it!
But at least
that means
it didn't make its marketing so it basically made its production budget back
with fucking DVDs,
more or less.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you know what's really depressing is that back in 2010,
this movie,
no,
really
beyond this is that Tom Green has a director's cut, which I assume is the NC-17 cut because the studio probably,
probably.
He wants it to be released at some point. I mean, there's no word yet, but hopefully, that's the really horrible part is that there are apparently Tom Green fans out there that want to see another cut of this movie in some
There is
form.
a morbid curiosity now of seeing that.
That basically describes why we pretty much watched this horrifying piece of shit. And so, yeah, it has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. So we basically picked this out of the bottom of the barrel. So it can only go up from here in future episodes, hopefully.
Nope. We've done things that are worse. We've watched things that are worse.
Yes, but we probably won't do episodes on those because that would mean that we would have to rewatch and take notes. And seriously, no. So one thing I don't get is that I'm looking at the webpage, and he's supposed to be 28. I mean, this dude is like 40 something, and
I think he's in his 30s.
In his 30s, but oh god, it says 28. Like he's a 28-year-old slacker.
Oh, okay.
So now we're going to move on into counterpoints, and this is where we go into Rotten Tomatoes and find positive reviews.
Oh boy.
Oh man, this is going to be great, and it looks like there are 10 from which to choose from.
Out of how many?
Out of fake drum roll 93. This one just says, like, video essay. For every person who walks out of Freddy Got Fingered in disgust, there will be 200 others howling in laughter. Nope. Courtesy of Cole Smithy at colesmithy.com.
If you know this man, please murder him.
And there's a positive review that just says, rivetingly grotesque. Another says, fearless and culturally resonant. A Dadaistic send-up of knee-jerk moralism and teen comedies in general.
Nope.
You know, although I do kind of agree with the Dadaist thing. It is so absurd that...
But it's not funny absurd. There's a difference between just, hey, this is absurd because absurd, ha ha ha.
Yes, there's like
random.
Samuel Beckett and like Douglas Adams absurd, and then there's this absurd.
And then there's masturbating a horse because, woo!
Yeah, I feel like, you know how PETA gets worked up over things like animal testing and all that stuff, and they're crazy? I feel like they should have something against this because...
They probably do.
Looking it up, they actually did. He did actually jerk off a real horse and an elephant.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I do not understand.
Anyway, so
This podcast features a lot of yelling.
it does because, well, it'll feature less, but it's just this.
Nope. It'll probably
Yeah,
feature more.
yelling is how we
I am a
communicate.
yeller.
He's a yeller. I'm a yeller.
Old yeller.
Old yeller behind the shed with a revolver.
I think.
Colonel Mustard.
Shotgun. What the hell's wrong with you?
Revolver. Revolver is what's wrong with me. I'll have you know.
Okay.
Anyway, so now moving on into the final part of the thing is what's on our radar this week, which is what we've been watching and what we would recommend to viewers like yourselves. Whatever small number of 7 or 8 people who actually listen to this.
Hello, Stephen from North Dakota. How are you doing today? How was your toast? I hear it was delicious. Butter? Good choice. Cinnamon sugar? Of course.
I'm more of a marmalade guy.
You are a genius, and you're a fucking weirdo. Marmalade, my
Marmalade. I just like the word marmalade. It's like
marmalade.
marmalade and Marmaduke, my favorite Monday treat.
Marmaduke-a-lade.
Marmaduke-a-lade every Monday with my coffee.
Yes.
What will Marmaduke get into next?
The trash. Because he's a dog.
And then he'll eat chocolate, and that's the end of Marmaduke.
Oh my god. I want to see that like it's 3 panels. Marmaduke sniffing a bar of chocolate. Marmaduke eating a bar of chocolate. Marmaduke's grave. Best comic strip ever.
Well, no, if you don't see a body, he can come back.
No.
Through some like necromancer shit. No,
Yep, they
that's the
hire a
rule.
voodoo priest.
To bring back Marmaduke. Everyone loves Marmaduke.
Yeah, voodoo priests fucking love Marmaduke.
We love Marmaduke.
Yeah, because we're voodoo priests.
Not in the Tom Green way, in the we enjoy his shenanigans sort of way.
And he-nanigans.
He-nanigans, she-nanigans, they-nanigans.
Yep.
So, Aaron, what is on your radar this week?
Everybody needs to go watch the Eric Andre show. It's on Adult Swim. It's a fake... It's like a fake talk show where he kind of deconstructs all the talk show norms and just says, fuck you, we're doing funny things. So it's absurdist like this movie, except it's actually funny because it's not Tom Green jerking things off and saying, hey, guess what? I'm beating paralyzed women because they get lady boners. So go watch that. It is fan-fucking-tastic.
Any others?
No.
I recently had the opportunity to go see Ender's Game, which was really bad for those of you who have read the book out there.
Was it just as racist as he is?
It's not racist. It's homo-negative, really, in what it is, because I just don't understand how someone who is as vocal against queer people as Orson Scott Card is could write a book about accepting people for what they are and realizing their potential.
Especially since in that book, it's basically a bunch of dudes just naked in like a space station training.
Well, it's not just dudes. There's females there too.
There's a couple.
I mean, the dude basically kills a guy in a bathroom. Spoiler alert.
Oh no. Book from 40 years ago.
Well, seriously, if you haven't read it or seen the movie, go see the movie. It's pretty good, even though they do cut out the brother and sister stuff.
Incest?
No, his
Damn.
no, his no, no, it's not Game of Thrones. It's
Oh, okay. Game of
Thrones.
Yeah.
Aha, funny you.
Woo-hoo. All right, next week we're doing the fucking treat of Crossroads, a movie with Britney Spears.
Zoe Saldana
Yeah, she's in this.
and that one girl who's in a bunch of stuff.
Great.
I forget her name.
Descriptive.
But next week I will know.
Yes.
I've seen her before. I think it's Taryn Manning is her name. She was on Sons of Anarchy as Cherry, and she's in Hustle.
She's a daughter.
No, and she's in
She's a daughter of
Hustle and
Anarchy.
Flow and all that stuff. So she typically. Oh, and she's also in 8 Mile. So you'd recognize her if you know about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that does it for this week. See you later.